Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. One of the most asked questions I get is, how do I get such tack sharpness out of the Sony DSC HX400V? I decided to try using a tack to see if I could increase the sharpness with that. But that's pretty silly, isn't it? There are much better methods. Now that we know that poking your camera with a tack won't give you tack-sharp photos, maybe it's time to talk about what will give you sharp pictures. There are several things you must do to get a spiffy photo, and some purist photographers won't even consider some of them. And other photographers who are just starting out don't even know about these methods. Some think there's some sort of magic in getting a sharp photo, or that it's somehow cheating to help your photos along with special settings, or that they're just not good enough to get a sharp picture. Photography at its best looks like magic to those who have no idea of how to do it, just as painting or writing looks like magic to the uninitiated. Photography is alchemy, and there are things you can do to turn unfocused lead into shining gold. Remember that good light is the most important thing as far as getting a good photograph goes. But there are 7 other methods that will help you get sharper pictures. Number 1, get your photos in focus. In the old days, all cameras were manual focus, and it was much more difficult to get a picture in focus. Today, autofocus is fast, accurate, and readily available. That doesn't mean the camera will focus exactly the way you want it to. You have to set it to focus how and on what you wish to focus upon. This can be done with precision, with knowledge of focusing methods, and the use of the camera's software, not a tack. The basic way to set autofocus on the HX400V involves going into the menu, then to the camera folder, page 3, and opening up the first option, Focus Area. There you can choose between wide, where the camera decides what to focus on, over a wide area, and is usually right, center, which focuses on the center of the scene, or flexible spot, which allows you to move around the focus point virtually anywhere on the screen. Don't do it. Use flexible spot if you are courageous and tough-minded and wish to focus on a specific thing in your picture, located at a specific point. To do this, you select the size of the point by first choosing S for small point for exact focus, say on an eye, M for a medium point, or L for a large point for a general area. After you do this, you will see the small, medium, or large point in the center of your screen. It is colored orange. While it is orange, you can move around where you wish the focus to be, up or down, or left, or right. Don't do it. Once you push the shutter release button, it turns green to set the focus at that point, or you simply press the round button in the middle of the control wheel in the back of the camera to set the focus point where you want it. To move the focus point again, press the round button in the middle of the control wheel to turn it orange again. Then you can move it around once more to your new point of focus. Master flexible spot before you go out to shoot, or else you'll be fiddling around and miss the shot. And you'll have to go back to using a tack. If you are attempting to photograph a moving subject, go to Menu, Camera, page 5, and turn on Lock On Autofocus, and your camera will automatically follow your subject. Lock On Autofocus keeps your subject in focus and sharp. If you wish to return to the days of manual focus, use the switch on the side of the lens to choose MF for manual focus instead of AF zoom. The third option there is DMF, which allows you to autofocus and then fine-tune the focus with manual focus. You can turn on MF Assist under Menu Settings, the gear, page 1, and when you attempt to manual focus, you'll see an enlarged portion of the screen so that you can check to see if that area is in sharp focus. All of these methods must be practiced and practiced and practiced again before you can get truly sharp focus. Practice, practice, practice sharpness, or you'll feel like you're going out as all thumbs when you shoot. Number 2 thing you can do, get your exposure right. A photo that is too light or dark will not look sharp. Number 3, get your composition right. A photo that is not composed correctly will confuse your viewers and not look sharp. Number 4, sharpen images with in-camera settings. Once your photos are in focus, there is another way you can get sharper pictures. That is to use the in-camera settings under Menu, Camera, page 4. Each of these creative style settings, standard, vivid, portrait, landscape, sunset, black and white, and sepia, allow some choices over contrast, saturation, and sharpness. I would use these settings at low ISO if possible, since they can add noise and give your photo a weird look. I leave my sharpness setting on 3 most of the time, although that can give you an over-sharpened look that you might like at times and might not want like at other times. You might want to dial it down. Number 5 things for sharp photos. The human tripod. The camera has image stabilization, but that doesn't mean you can wave it around wildly like a fly swatter as you're taking a photo. Without image stabilization, most of my photos would have motion blur, and yours too probably. Unless I shoot at higher shutter speeds, there would be a lot more dead files. I shoot mostly through the viewfinder rather than use the LCD. With the viewfinder, I can turn myself into a human tripod, or at least a human monopod. My face might be oddly configured, but I find the HX400V fits nicely into my weird nose and my distorted eye socket. If I press it tightly against my eye, but not so tightly that I injure my eye or blind myself, I get a stable platform from which you can shoot. As you turn yourself into a human tripod, use the time-tested method of sucking in your breath and holding it in before taking the photo. Well, be warned, if you hold your breath for too long, you'll faint. That's not so bad, but what is bad, that fainting will cause you to miss the photo. Don't want that. Number 6, use in-camera color grading. If you want your photographs to pop, consider using the vivid setting to make them do so, along with an increase in saturation and sharpness. I often use these settings. It stands to reason that deeper colors and more saturation can make a photograph pop, and in the process make it look sharper, even if it really isn't. Sometimes there is a trade-off in making your photographs more colorful. Sometimes too much color takes away from the poetry of a scene. You don't want that. Number 7, get a fast quality SD card. I can't explain the technical aspect of getting a fast card, but I do know that in my experience, shooting with a fast quality SD card produces better photographs. It stands to reason that the speed and quality of a card will allow it to write down the information of a photograph in a more accurate way. So my suggestion for sharper, better photos is to get a fast quality SD card. Cheap cards just aren't as good. So, in conclusion, those are my 7 methods of getting sharper pictures. Put the tack back in its box with the other little tacks and stop poking your camera with it. It's dangerous. Ow!